Hello, Boujie Babes. Let's get started with this tutorial. So we're doing skin prep for her gorgeous skin. We are using one of the First Aid Beauty exfoliating pads, taking off any dead skin and adding a little extra glow. It has toner in there. Now we're using the hyaluronic acid serum. This one's honestly from Trader Joe's. I love it. Now we're going in with some under eye cream. Again, just making sure that that area is hydrated because that can easily be forgotten. Now we are going to go in with some glow. This is also the Lumi Glotion in the shade Deep, and it adds this like really beautiful kind of golden hue, which I absolutely love. So that's what we're adding to her skin right now. Then we are going to go in with the Embryolisse cream as well. So she said that she didn't really struggle with like shine or oil, so I just went in with straight up primer. We didn't have to special treat any areas of the skin. So now I am blending that in. I love blending it in with a foundation brush, and then I love saving that foundation brush and using that little cream that's left on it later to make the skin look really realistic later on. That's like a little pro tip that I do. Now her brows, beautiful brows, very thick and coarse. So we are going to put a little bit of the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Freeze in there just to make sure that they are lifted and that they stay in place, and so that they look really finished and polished instead of kind of like a little all over the place. So now that that's in there and it dried for a second, we're doing some dark brown and black shadow for her brows, and you'll see like the change that it makes in just a minute when both are done. They're just so much more present and so much more structured, and I think they look really beautiful once they're done. So we're putting that in right now and kind of making sure that the tail looks good, that they're all kind of level and where we need them to be. So now I'm using a little bit of brow gel. Again, make them realistic, make them look nice and even. Now I'm adding a Catrice, I believe this is a Catrice concealer in kind of like a soft-ish brown, similar to the video we did recently where I want it to be a little highlighted, but still very much your skin tone. And then I go over with a beauty blender to make sure that it looks seamless. So now that we got that going on, I am going to add an eyeshadow in just a moment. We're going to use a kind of a cream shadow first. I did actually a couple. I did kind of like a liquid one to add this like bronzy sheen, and then I did a cream one on top of that. So we really are working just kind of on that build, building it up, up, and up. So now I'm adding a little bit of a powder shadow on top just to like lock in the liquid, lock in the creams, lock all of that into place. So yeah, so that's what we got going on there. Now I'm adding a dark shadow into the crease, but also like into the lash line, just adding some of that dimension. Again, her look is also on the more natural route, so we're not trying to make anything look dramatic. So yeah, so we are getting this look, building this look. I know that sometimes looks can look a little funny before they're complete, but we're getting there. And now we're using a black eyeliner with a just an art brush from Hobby Lobby, and we are building a little bit of a wing. I'm going for her because she had such beautiful kind of round almond eyes, and so I knew she could get away with a really like thin, tapered, beautiful wing. So that is the direction that we are heading with that. Yeah, now we're working on a lash. Same thing, had to cut this lash down a little bit. So, so that is what we are doing. We're putting the glue on, we're letting it dry, and now we are placing it. Yeah, I just like to make sure it's nice and placed, that it feels good to them, that it feels good to me, that it looks good. So yeah, so now we are getting the next lash out, trimming it, gluing it, getting it prepared, all of that jazz. You know how we do. So I am getting that to stick nice and stuck. That one, for some reason, I don't know, it wasn't sticking the right way. So I'm getting out a new one. I like to show you that these things happen. So I could have edited that part of the video out, of course, and just shown you as though everything was perfect, but that's not how it goes. Sometimes there are mistakes. Sometimes you got to go through 2 or 3 lashes before it works. It's just how we do in the makeup artistry world. If something doesn't work, we kind of get there until it works. Okay, now we're adding a foundation. I do it to the center of her face, and then I am blending it all out. I thought this was a really good match, actually, so I was happy with how it was looking and glowing. She still very much looks like her, but I'm definitely making sure to blend it down her neck, underneath her lips, kind of everywhere. I didn't want to miss. Now I am highlighting the under eye, and I'm using a little bit more of a it's got like a little bit more of an orange tone to it, unlike the eyes, because I wanted to do a little bit of color correcting underneath her eyes to make them look bright and also corrected. They traveled to Ohio from, I think, Illinois, and it was a really long trip, so they were all pretty tired. So I was making sure to fix that, and now we are using a setting powder to set underneath her eyes right away. And I believe the next thing we're going to do is get into that cream blush. So yeah, we're using kind of like a berry shade, and oh my gosh, I think this looks so good on her skin. Kind of putting it on with a brush, then in between blending it out with the Beauty Blender. Just really making it work there. Making sure it kind of goes up to her hairline. I love how that looks. Now we're setting with a Ben Nye blush, a powder blush, making sure it kind of all stays in place. Now we're doing a contour. This is again from the Danessa Myricks Cream Palette, making sure that we do her forehead to just kind of give like a really nice shading to her forehead. I think this looks so good on her. And now we're doing the chin and the cheekbones and blending everything. I was finding that I was liking the way her skin was looking, but that it still felt like it was falling a little bit flat. So the contour really helped in my opinion. And then I just put a little bit more foundation on when I felt like the contour might have been too strong on the forehead. Now we are setting with a setting powder, kind of moving our lips around to make sure that we are all set and good. And yeah, we are getting there, everybody. Now we're wiping off her lips. I'm using kind of like a berry brown lip liner from ColourPop to kind of match her blush. So we are going with those lips. I like to, in this case, I wanted to line the lips, but I also wanted to color them in a little bit with a lip liner to help it last a little bit longer. Their photo shoot was going to be a few hours into the night. Now we're using a NYX lipstick, a matte lipstick in, I forget what shade it is, but it's kind of like a berry brown also. Really blending that in, having her work it into the lips as well, adding a little bit more. I really love these NYX long-lasting lipsticks. They're so great. And then that's me putting it in a sample jar for her, so that, look at her shine, her skin shine while she's moving. I love that. Putting that in her little touch-up bag so that she's good to go. Now we're adding like a gloss just to make everything look shiny, everything look natural, everything look just like super duper glowy. So loving this for her. Almost done, getting it going on. Now we're doing some mascara to make sure that the lashes and the false lashes and her real lashes are married together well. We are making sure also to now get some color underneath the eyes just to make things look smoky, look good, look kind of complete. And yeah, we are almost done. I do like to do the lashes, the false lashes, and then wait a while to put on the mascara because I don't want to pull, I want the glue to be really on there. So that's why you'll see me like not do the mascara right away. Now we're adding a little additional setting powder, setting spray, and this is her final look. I think she looks great. She looks like herself. She looks glowy. Lashes look great, glistening, really beautiful.